the tiny island that all of a sudden became the center of a global tug-of-war. You're watching Times XP. My name is Driti, Atri, and a country with fewer than 6,000 soldiers, an island barely the size of a small US country, a nation just 7 miles away from Venezuela. And yet, this teeny spot on the map is now sitting at the heart of Trump-Maduro showdown. This story is of Trinidad and Tobago, a country too small to be a military power, too close to Venezuela to stay out of Washington's plan, and too strategic for Donald Trump to ignore. Well, when the top US general landed, everything changed. Late last month, something happened that never really happened before. American top military officer, the chair of the Joint Chief of Staff, landed in Port of Spain. Not for tourism, not for diplomacy, but for strategy. The message was unmistakable here. Trinidad and Tobago is now a frontline partner in America's Caribbean mission over there. Now, former US Ambassador Lewis, he put it very simply, if America has Trinidad, it has a launch pad, a port, a runway, a pressure point on Venezuela. And that makes this teeny tiny nation far more important than its size suggests. But for Trinidad, the risks are huge. Inside that particular island, politics is boiling. Coordination with the US military has turned into a national debate. The government says that it's about fighting the drug traffickers. The opposition says that it's dragging the island into somebody else's war. And Venezuela, well, they are watching every single move here. After a US warship docked in Trinidad in late October, Maduro retaliated immediately, suspending a major gas deal over there. He accused Trinidad's prime minister of helping the United States corner him. The tension was no longer subtle, it became open, it became more direct, more explosive. In the meantime, the island swears that it is not a launch pad, but is it? Well, Trinidad's defense minister insists that we are not a base for anybody's military operations, but experts in that particular region, they are not really convinced, because when American troops don't launch attacks from Trinidad, Washington can still set up a lot of systems that influence the entire region. And that's exactly what happened here. A secret radar, which is a game changer. So in November, a major revelation leaked, and after their prime minister also agreed that Trinidad and Tobago had approved the installation of a high-power US military radar at its international airport. A radar so advanced that it can track aircraft, detect threats, and monitor the drug boats across a wide distances. Defense analysts believe that it's the ANTPS-80 GATOR, basically a cutting-edge system used by the US Air Force and Marine Corps. Now, this particular radar, it changes every single thing, because once you install American eyes, American assets follow, American troops follow, American interests follow. And suddenly this teeny tiny island becomes a strategic piece in a such larger chessboard. In fact, their prime minister has a mixed signal right now. When people asked if American Marines were inside the country, their prime minister Kamala Prasad Pasisa said no. Then days later she said yes. More than 100 Marines were already working on the radar and the airport upgrades. Now, for critics, this was all that they needed to hear. If US troops are here, if US installations are here, if US warships are docking here, then Trinidad and Tobago is already part of the conflict, whether it wants to be or not.